Welcome to episode 29 of the Recap Room podcast. I got a little lonely doing this on my own, to be honest. Because we initially always did it with the whole team. Then I kind of did some of my own, some interviews, whatever. Now I feel like I want to bring on. Well,
I was on a hiatus.
He was on the IR 4 to 6. Now he's back, better than ever. Gordy. I don't have to introduce. He's a man who doesn't need any introduction, because if you don't know Gordy by now.
I want like the Bruce Buffer introduction.
Yeah, well, I don't have the voice for that.
The only.
I don't have a voice for that.
And he's like, the undisputed.
Yeah, I think you should have done it for yourself. You should have introed yourself.
Literally, maybe next time.
Yeah,
not this time.
Yeah. How are you feeling? How's everything been?
It's been great.
Ever since you were on the podcast last, what's life been like? What's life been like as a Recap Group team member?
Honestly, life's been great. You know, obviously the last time I was on was with Sasha.
Yeah, at our last firm.
At our last firm at Jameson. So a lot has happened in between. We moved to Compass. We're a new team, great team.
Yeah.
I've been busy. I've been loving it. I might be moving to the city. Who knows? I have no idea.
Might be. I think the little birdie's telling me that you are going to be moving to the city finally. But this is one key aspect that I want people to understand. Like, Gordy and I think both of us are, paving our way in our career. We're both building a business and building it together, which is kind of what the idea of the podcast is going to be about today. Like, how it's been growing a business together, and
the introduction of
I want to say our origin story, because I don't think I've ever told anybody like how we know each other or like how this even started. Like,
we've known each other a very, very long time.
But like even throughout all of that, like we're living at home, we're saving our money as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like there's this huge push of all these influencers and people that are like, spend all your money, like you'll make it back, and like I think that there's a truth to maybe a little bit of that. Like, obviously you don't want to be like holding on to your pockets and being cheap, but like at the end of the day, you can't.
Your money though.
I'll give a good analogy. You know how Gordy's a big workout guy at GBabAFit on Instagram.
I don't work out.
The same way that you can't outwork a bad diet, you can't out-earn bad spending habits.
No. You can't just spend all your money and be like, oh yeah, I'll make it back at some point. Like,
because then you're a hamster on a wheel. And to me, that gives me so much anxiety, where it's like, okay, yeah, I worked really hard, but like, what do I have to show for it at the end of the day?
Well, I think it's also, you're at like an age, like if you're like 25, 26, it's like, you're like kind of now an adult. Like you're far removed from if you went to college and stuff. So you kind of have to do adult stuff now.
And it's like the road is like, you see a very clear path between the people who are like 25 and living like they're still in college and have nothing to show for their life, and 25 and then people that are like getting married, having kids, like have to get ready for real life stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think people think maybe and obviously,
I think a lot of people think, okay, I graduate school, now I got to move down to the city and, start that because I'm going to be starting my job here. And
listen, we love when people move to the city because we make money off of it, but we're telling you as people who benefit from you moving and doing all these real estate transactions, and whether that's renting or buying, like at the end of the day, we want to help you put yourself in the best financial position possible. And for us, that's been living at home throughout our 20s.
I mean, for me, right after I left school, I literally moved home. I mean, I also went to DePaul, so I had my city experience for a few years.
True.
And then when I moved back, moved back, lived at home, been saving money ever since, because like, if you think about it, at the end of the day, like, it's expensive to live in the city.
Yeah.
And if you went to college, you got loans, if you got your credit cards, getting not just rent, but like if you want to go out to eat, go out to the bars, whatever it may be.
And everybody, this is like, because we deal with so many people around our age, like you see the difference between people who are serious. Like it's like everybody. Everybody talks about they want the nice this, they want the nice that, but nobody wants to put in the work, and nobody wants to do this, make the sacrifice that are necessary to get there. With, housing is expensive, and buying property is expensive. Like buying real estate is not a cheap thing to do regardless.
And trying to like find a deal, it's very, very hard,
So if you're just going to be like, oh yeah, I'll just like, kind of wing my way to that and just, out earn my bad spending habits. And even if they're not bad spending habits, just think about it logically. You're an average kid coming out of college. You're making $60,000 to $80,000 in Chicago. 80, I would say, is on the higher end. Obviously, if you're got a really good degree or some really good job, you can be making. But speaking generalities here, 60 to 80,000. You move to the city. You've got student loans. You've got potentially a car payment. Hopefully you don't if you're living in the city, no need for a car. But a lot of people commute and reverse commute.
Yeah.
So you have a car payment. You're paying for your rent, your utilities, once you're after 26, now you got your own insurance if you're independent. And that's more for us because we're independent contractors.
I'm thinking about that now because I'm literally going to be 26.
We get screwed on that. But I guess if you have an employer insurance taken covered, I digress. My point being is like, at the end of the day, and add on top of the fun things you want to do in the city, you don't just want to be living in the city, just sitting at home all day. It's going to be very hard for you to save up enough money for a property, real estate, or any big transaction you want to do in today's day and age, unless you're actively making some sort of sacrifice. No pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain. I mean, I'm also curious, like, how many people are really saving money, putting money in a savings account, maybe setting up a time with a financial advisor. Hey, how do I invest in this?
Yeah.
Or if it's a Roth, if it's whatever.
And the statistics show like most people don't. The average American can't put their hand on $1,000 tomorrow if they had an emergency.
Which is a scary, scary thing to be in. So that's why you have to be careful what you. I mean, I literally moved home when I got into real estate. I'm like, I'm gonna have to live at home because I knew I'm starting from literally ground zero. Like there was no other way of doing it, and I knew that was the best way. And honestly, right now I'm ready to move out, but like. I don't regret it. It was the perfect decision for me.
Yeah, it put you in a position now where you're going to be able to move in. You're going to be able to buy a place shortly. Like you're going, and it's not like it's coming from like, oh, I'm making all this money. It's like, no, you have to at a certain point like trim away your expenses a little bit and dial that in. So I think that's a really good segue into starting about like how you and I know it. Like we obviously, Gordy and I have a really good relationship. Like we talk outside of work. We're really, really good friends. We've lived together. We have a very similar mindset, sometimes to a fault, where like it becomes an echo chamber. But I guess you could start us off. Like, how did Michael and Gordy become Michael and Gordy of 2025?
Well, it all started at the Twin Rinks.
Yeah,
it all started at the ice rink. Actually,
is
when my sister was a skater. Your mom was a coach for so long, and she was my sister. Skated for your mom.
Yeah.
And then I kind of met you through there, and then we had similar friends, and then we worked together, and then we kind of decided to go to school together at DePaul. And then he left school, I stayed, and then I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life for I don't know, a year or two, and then you kind of were like, oh, you should maybe think about real estate.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gordy, that was the abbreviated version, obviously, because there's a lot that's going into
there. There's more.
I mean, we knew each other through the rink. That's how we kind of
That was
met
what,
each other.
age 15?
Probably around there.
15,
because my mom,
16?
I remember my mom coming home. She's like, oh, I teach this girl Lauren Baba, and I knew.
But I don't think we liked each other at first. I think I was like,
no,
who is this kid?
I liked it. What is he talking about? I
was like,
first.
Who is this
okay,
kid?
good to know.
Listen,
respect.
you gotta guards up all times.
Yeah, but that shows you how him and I are different in the few ways. He's like, homie's guarded.
We are, but we became very close because we have a very similar mindset.
Yeah.
We're very hardworking, and maybe I guess sometimes to a fault where we get addicted to what we do.
Yeah, which I think is a blessing and a curse. Obviously, it's been a blessing because when I tell when we need things done, I know if I ask Gordy or Gordy asks me, they're done.
Yeah, they're not. It's not like I don't. He doesn't have to pester me, or I have to be like, hey. No. Cap, I need you to be doing this or that,
And I always said this from the start when we knew each other, then we became friends throughout high school, went to the same high school, whatever. Then we were getting ready to go to college, and I always said the only person out of all my friends that I could live with in college was Gordy.
Honestly, probably the same. I didn't really think about it. I was
not because I love all my friends. Yeah. It's just it's
it's different. You can live with certain people and you can only be friends with certain people. Right. And I think for both of us, this is the first time we're moving out of the house, so it made sense and it worked out really well because we were just we connected where we were just there was emotional level connection.
Yeah, we were sleeping it now. We never slept together.
We cuddled. We still cuddled. Sorry, Patricia.
NSFW. But yeah, it's one of those things that you have to have, and this is kind of what I want the second half of the podcast to kind of be about, starting a business with your friends. Everybody always says,
I was about to say that.
Don't do it. And I think it's like anything. You've got to take some nuance to it. I knew I could have Gordy and work in business with Gordy because I knew the type of person he was. We weren't just close with each other on a friendship level. It was ultimately we weren't just close on a friendship level in the sense that we could just have fun together and play around and whatever and get drunk and do stupid stuff. Ultimately, I saw Gordy's work ethic and what he could do, and I saw how similar that aligned with mine. And so I knew it would be easy to live with him because I'm like, we're kind of on the same wavelength.
We were on the same, and we also, like, we want to see each other succeed. Like,
I love using that word wavelength. Like, I don't get it because it's like, it's not just like a personality thing. There's almost like an intangible. There's some people that you can there's some friends that you have that you're like, I love being around them, but they like drain my energy. The friends that you can be around pretty much unlimited amount of time are the ones that I think you could say like they're on the same wavelength as me. We get along really well.
Yeah.
We just get each other. And that's why once it was time, I was 2 years in the business already, and I approached Gordy to kind of start REKAP with me.
I mean, honestly, it made sense for me too because I definitely saw what you were doing. I'm like, oh, I mean, I literally lived with you when you were studying for the exam and talking about it. I'm like, oh, it's interesting. And it ended up working out too because like we both want to like grow as individuals, but we also want to see each other win in every way possible. So it made sense for us to go into business because a lot of people did.
Bring that mic closer. I want people.
Sorry.
I want people to hear that.
I haven't been on the podcast in a while. I'm new.
He's working out the kinks. I want everybody to hear that.
But like
voice.
A lot of people said to me like, oh, you know, it's not a good idea to go into business with your friends, and I'm like, whatever. Like I don't care. Like I'm not gonna listen to everybody else because you know they just want me to live the life that they want, not that I want. Yeah. So. And then it ended up working out pretty damn good, I would say.
Well, because ultimately, too, when I started and we started this, it's never like you're working for Michael.
No.
It's ultimately we're growing this business from the ground up together, and also the fact that there's no salary involved. Like, it's not like I'm writing your checks. No. You're getting the checks from the brokerage the same way I'm getting the checks from the brokerage. The only difference is that I like having the team aspect. We both grew up playing sports. We both grew up in that environment where it's nice in a business where it's could be so isolating that you have people on your team that you could text, call, whatever, shoot the shit with. Sorry, excuse my French, but you know what I mean?
You can like celebrate your wins, and obviously if you're like struggling, you can go to people. But I also think we both have that mindset where like we don't want to be told, hey, you need to be doing this, and that. Right. Like we like to just go and do it because I think you hold yourself to a very high standard, and like I try to.
Right, for sure, you do as well.
And like in real estate, it is one of those industries you have to hold yourself accountable. Yeah, because it's easy to be like, oh yeah, like I could just do that tomorrow. No one's gonna like tell me I can't. But then it's like, all right, you're not gonna make any money. Like, what do you want to do?
You have to observe a person when you're looking to work with them or hire them.
Yeah.
You have to observe how they are. It's almost nothing to do with business. You have to observe how they are outside of business. How do they treat wait staff? How do they treat their friends and family? Yeah. How you do anything is how you do everything.
And how they and in real estate, it's like how do you hold relationships? How do you keep those? And not even just real estate, but in general, just like, do you stay in touch with people that might live out of state or that you haven't talked to in a while? Like, that is also a huge part of like I think what we do is we're very good at like being adaptable in different settings, and like I feel like we could talk to anybody. We could talk to this wall and make friends with it. Like
we pretty much are. That's pretty much what we're doing in the podcast. So
it really is. So it's fun, and it's good too because we both like have like carved out roles for ourselves within the team that I think has brought a ton of success for us to even bring on new people that want to join, and also people now notice us. Like we're young. Like we're young. We don't have the I've been in the business for 40 years. I've seen it all. Like it doesn't matter. Like I don't care.
Experience is overrated because if you have 40 years of experience, if they're 40 bad years of experience, my 5 years of great experience outweighs your 40 years of whatever you did. You know?
And like I said, I was just talking about this with, I think my dad. I was like, I couldn't see myself doing anything else because genuinely, like, I don't know what I would do. I probably wouldn't do anything. Right. I would try and become like a
OnlyFans model.
OnlyFans models.
Drop the link.
OnlyFans model streamer.
If interest rates get into double digits, we may have to do that.
The
so
feed pics
we laugh, but we may have to do that. I don't know if anybody would enjoy, but
I think some people would.
I don't know. Maybe more you than me. You could just go on GBab Fit. You pretty much get a free show.
Literally.
500-pound deadlift. But yeah, I think it's so true what you said, and ultimately at the end of the day, if you want to start a business with somebody and you want to get into business with somebody that's your friend, it comes down to like any relationship compatibility.
Yes.
And so you have to be
100%.
realistic with who you're starting the business with and understand. And you also have to have clear, defined, like, at the end of the day, we're friends before we're business partners.
Yep.
So we will never, and I know it's easier said than done, and as more and more money gets involved, everything becomes harder to do, but we'll never let anything in the business get involved in the way of our friendship, because that's...
But you also, like, we also have, 100% trust in each other,
Right.
which is important. So it's like, if I'm like, hey, I got to go to you for help on this.
It's a relationship.
Or,
Every relationship is built on trust, and obviously the same way that you build a relationship with your romantic partner off of trust, like I have a relationship with my girlfriend that I know that no matter where she is or what she's doing, she's going to represent me the exact way that I would want myself represented.
Yep.
She's an extension of me. In business, it's the same thing. I know everybody on my team and vice versa. When you guys are out and about and doing your things, I don't have to worry that I'm going to wake up and see a video of you guys on World Star Hip Hop spinning around, I mean, maybe you on a crazy night, but for the most part, I'm not going to have to worry that you represent me the same way that I would want to be represented.
Yes.
And hopefully vice versa.
Yes, 100. I mean, but that's big. Like, I mean, when you were just in Europe for 2 weeks, you were freaking out that you were going to be leaving. But then all I kept saying is, like, we're going to be able to handle it. Like, there's no issue. Like, maybe if it was when we first started, it might be a little bit different because, it was more training wheels, on. But now it's like, I only go to Michael when I really am like, hey, listen, I just want to make sure I'm right about this, or, like, can you help me with this? And
I think people sometimes... maybe from an outsider perspective, they think like we're always talking, like I'm always, and we are talking all the time, but at the end of the day, for the most part, Gordy's only coming to me now with things that are like stories, like
stories,
you got,
or like
Cap, you got to hear this. This is fucking nuts or whatever. He's
or
not
something out of the ordinary happened on my AS, and I need to help.
And that's because I think I've done a good job, not to toot my own horn, but training you at the start of those first 6 months, 12 months of you being in the business. I don't think you would have gotten that same hands-on mentorship that you would have gotten anywhere else. And that's not to say other teams don't have great mentorship, but I also had the time and the energy in the business to allow you to step into that role, and I had nothing else going on.
Well, 100%. Well, I think that was a big thing of like you kind of training me, showing me how to do it, and then just being like, all right, just go do it, and just see what works and what doesn't, and go from there. And I think now, after being in the business for 2.5 years, like I've gotten it down more to a point where I'm like, all right, I know what I'm doing. I know what I got to do every single day, and like setting your schedule. Because real estate specifically, like you don't know what your schedule is going to be. Like it's never the same. It's always different every single day. So, and we're always doing something new if it's with, these set of clients or a project that we want to work on, or like how we want to grow our business. Like there's always something new going on that I love because it keeps you going and it keeps you being like, all right, there's another level we got to go up to. And like that's the beauty of it that I love.
It's awesome. It's the best part, and I know it fuels all of us. We all feel like we're a part of something bigger and seeing the growth year over year.
Yeah.
I guess for you personally, what's your outlook on, like, what do you want to accomplish over these next 12 months on the team, as an individual? I know for you, it's probably stepping into doing more and more sales.
Yeah. I feel like I've done so many rentals. I feel like I've done tons, and I've got it down. Like I can do it in my sleep, I feel like. But I definitely want to get in more of the sales side, but really like I want to buy my first property, get into that and learn, okay, how do I manage the finances and getting tenants in, and like going through that and running numbers and finding like good deals for myself. Because at the end of the day, like that was kind of a big reason why I got into it as well, just because I always thought like, oh, that'd be cool to have your own property and be able to manage that on the side as well. So that would be a big thing for me. And with the team, it's just kind of growing into more of like I guess somewhat of a leadership role of being like, hey, if we want to add new people, I can show them, what I've done, and kind of give them that template and just be like, go and do it.
Yeah.
And kind of mentor some people. Like if it's with rent, I feel like rentals specifically, I feel like I could teach people how to do it.
And I think that's our business model.
Yeah.
Is we're never going to get rid of that, even if when we're older and have this business.
I mean, that's the bread and butter. Like, honestly.
It's the fuel that drives the car.
For sure.
And the rentals for any agent, this is my biggest advice to any new agent that wants to get in the business. Look into doing as many rentals as you possibly can.
You should, because I will say this. I know, it's a ton of work and not a lot of money, but honestly, if you get it down, just give yourself a few months to just struggle with it, and then once you get it down, you can make such good money
Yeah.
in the rental side. And you don't understand, those rental clients are not just going to leave after
Yeah.
they rented a place.
If
they
you
might
do a
rent
good
more.
job. Yeah.
Or if you do a good job of like, hey, reaching out, checking in, gifting, whatever it may be, check in with people if it's like in the winter or if they took a vacation, something like that.
And that's one of the nice aspects, I think, of being on our team is that we provide the gifting strategy.
Yep.
We have a whole gifting program strategically, whereas most brokers only have it for sales. We have a whole reasonably priced gifting strategy set for you when you come and join the team.
Yep.
So all your rental clients will be set,
and it's
you're
so
gonna
easy to do.
Oh my gosh,
it takes 10 seconds.
We have
to
it. We
put
have the
in.
best. We have the best system
Yeah.
for it. Number two, our social media.
Oh
we
my
have,
God.
You no longer, when you join our team, have to worry about your social media because we have a full team in the background that's producing the content, coming up with the ideas, and posting it on the recap page, and then simultaneously collaborating with your page. So now you have social media, and as Pat's doing Pat's our guy.
Pat's our guy. Literally, honestly, we were doing it before Pat.
Yeah.
Michael and I were doing a lot of the social media, and like, listen, I'm not a social media guy.
Yeah.
I knew that from the start, and I would tell Michael, I can't do this. Like, it's just you got time to post the caption, all
everything
this stuff.
it's
too much
above our pay grade.
It's like doing math. I can't do math. I can't do social media.
Exactly. So, all these aspects that we basically take this really well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Still needs to be oiled even more. Always does. Every car needs to be worked on as time goes on. But ultimately, we take that approach and apply it towards the rental clients. And the beauty of that is, in 1 year, as a really good agent, you maybe work with 20, 30 buyers and sellers. Renters, you could work with hundreds.
Yeah.
So you grow this huge database, this huge Rolodex of people that are all inevitably at some point in their life going to buy property. Most of them, not all, but most. And if you do what we tell you and what we've shown works, that I've shown to Gordy, that now Mike P's working on, that Sasha worked on, that Mike Will is going to hopefully work on one day when he comes back to work for us.
Yes, sir.
And, it works. The system works when you work the system.
And the only thing that you we offer the social media, the gifting, all that stuff. But the only thing you need to hold yourself accountable to is just reaching out to your clients, keeping in touch with them. Like if someone texts you, just respond to them.
Yeah.
Don't be like, all right, I'll respond in an hour or two. Like they're gonna be like, oh, he's not working. You know what I'm saying?
And I could tell you everything to do because I've done it.
Yeah.
I've grown a business from making $0 to making a lot more than that now.
Yeah.
And it's like all from doing the same things over and over and over again that work. And I have that system built out, ready to go, deployed to the agents that are on the team. I just think the unique part about our business is that you have to be we don't take in agents and say, okay, we're going to give you all these leads for sales and we're going to take, 50% of your money.
No.
What we do is say, hey, we're going to teach you the system and help you grow your own business.
Yeah.
So you're going to keep a way larger pot. You're also going to feel a little bit more like I'm growing this, this is my baby. And we just are there to facilitate that and help you grow. And it's the same, like I said, we've done it with Gordy, done it with Sasha, got Mike P in it now. Yeah. And you're going to see Mike P.
He's going to grow like crazy.
Yeah, his year-over-year stats are going to be banana lands.
But you got to look at it from the perspective, and what I did is kind of what you told me was look at it from the perspective that, hey, you're running a business. Don't look at it just like a transactional thing. You're running a business, so if you want to run a business, you got to be multifaceted. You got to be good at a bunch of different stuff and adaptable with every single client because not everybody's going to be the same.
Right.
So some people might, operate, where they're they need to see all these places and they're going to be very intricate of how they do it. Or some are you got to push them. And you got to show them stuff. So that's the other part too, where that's the challenge of you have to grow as an individual. You can't just have, me or Michael be like, oh, we'll show you what to do.
Exactly. So ultimately, that's kind of our story.
Yeah.
Gordy and I have been at it for quite some time, probably almost 10 years now.
It's been a long time, but it's been fun.
But it's been a blast, and ultimately, if you're somebody out there who's looking to get into real estate, you want something new.
That's the trend right now. Is everybody's trying to become entrepreneur and trying to figure out what they want to do.
Yeah.
Real estate, it's a great avenue. You just got to get with the right people, and you got to believe in yourself in it. We can't believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Because if we do, you're never going to succeed.
Right. Yeah, we can't want
That's
it
just
for
the
you
harsh
more
reality
than you want for yourself.
Yeah.
So, all right. Always a pleasure. Thanks for coming on. Help me out.
Thumbnail.
And as always, guys, We love ya.
you.